Hi everybody, I'm Jerry Paul and I'm an indie author, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 tropes I love in young adult. I thought this would be a good way to kick off my top 5 tropes. I personally read a lot of young adult and I write a lot of it too, so it made sense for me to list my top 5 in the classification as a whole. So here we go. Number 1, hate to love romance. Now I want to add a caveat here. I don't mean arsehole to love. I mean two people who just don't like each other, slowly falling in love and ending the book as partners. This is something that can be done really well, or it can be done badly. Sometimes it ends up as an abusive situation, and that's never a good thing. So long as it's between two people who aren't abusive to each other during that hate phase, then I am golden and happy with this trope. It can be overused from time to time, but I think when done well, it's amazing and great. Number 2, conveying words with a look. Now I'm as guilty of this as a writer, and it's something I love as a reader. It's easy to say that it doesn't happen, but if you've ever been silent and your body language is practically screaming the words, it does happen, and while it needs to be done sparingly, I think if it's done too much, it becomes a little weird and boring. But I think it can really pack a punch when it's done well. As I've said, I've been guilty of it. Tara is someone who is very expressive with her looks, and while there are some times my editor has called me out, other times it builds up the tension and fills the scene with more descriptive looks than words can convey. Of course, you can have them just say the words, but sometimes a look will do it justice. Number 3, villain redemption. This is another maybe one. It's something that when done well can be really good. I'm not talking about villains who have done things that are completely unforgivable, nor am I talking about redemption that allows for there to be no consequences. I think that if they're the villain, they're going to get dimed for whatever they did, no matter the redemption arc, but I do think it can be done well. It's rarer to be done good, but it can be. And the reason for this is simple. I love the idea of someone being so changed by another person's action, whether that's the protagonist or someone else, that they are able to see the error of their actions and start to move forward towards redemption. While I don't believe that anyone is 100% evil, bar a few people in history that I don't need to even mention, I do believe that some people can change. And I think that showing that is a good thing to do. I think that you need to have the right balance between consequences and redemption, because I don't care what you do, if you killed someone, you're going to have prison time. But I feel like it's good to play with some of the morally grey areas in fiction, and that's where that one stems from. Number 4, the introverted protagonist. This is one that is very much an overused trope, and I get people's annoyance with it, especially teens who are extroverts or who don't want to read about introvert life because they live it. But personally, I am more of an ambivert. I can be outgoing in certain situations, and I was the same as a teen. Yeah, I do find that I love reading stories about teens who aren't. I love reading about that teen starting to reach out and make friends. I use this in my fiction, as some would argue that Tara is more antisocial than an introvert, and while that is true, I have written some introvert characters and very much enjoyed reading about them. I feel like it's overused for a reason, because it's a really relatable experience and it's a story that can be told so many different ways. So while some people will roll their eyes at it, I'm one for this. And number 5, fall of society. I never realised how much I liked the dystopian genre until I read The Hunger Games, which I know is really a cliche. And after that, I have always been a big lover of the fall of society. In fact, I've written one trilogy and in the middle of a series right now that's based on just that. I love the idea of exploring the many ways that humanity could fail. I love the idea of watching humans overcome that fail. There are so many different ways to do it and so many different stories to tell. It just makes sense to me that there is a huge genre to love. I have read so many of these, and while they do tend to be young adult, I've also read some adult books that I've come to adore. It's a trope that fascinates me, and I'm sure it does many others, and it's one I love dabbling in as a writer. There's so many different ways it can go wrong and so many ways to overcome it that the future is just out there, and you can just do what you want. So there we have it, my 5 top tropes that I love in young adult. There are some others that I'm fond of, but those are the ones that I chose for my top 5. As I said, some of them have to be in certain circumstances, like the villain redemption and the hate to love. I feel like sometimes they can be misused or done in a way that doesn't attract me as a reader, and so they're a bit of a maybes. but those are the ones that I really love and that will make me want to read a book. So that's what I have time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment or subscribe. I post videos on Thursdays and sometimes I post them on Sundays too. You can find me all over social media and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to pre-order Lights Out, and if you do pre-order, don't forget to fill out the swag form, all the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye!